everybody and welcome to Keyboard Skills Pro. My name is Tom and yes, I've dressed up for the occasion. I've got my waiter's outfit out of the wardrobe, but wherever you're watching tonight, folks, thanks for joining me for our regular fun Wednesday night live stream. A lot of folks have been asking for this for a while. I've been saying we're going to do some movie nights and different things, and tonight, well, it's all about the music of the James Bond film franchise. And of course, we were supposed to be seeing a brand new James Bond, Daniel Craig, in his final outing. But of course, our dear friend Mr. Virus has gotten in the way of that one. But hopefully that will be coming soon. Hopefully sometime maybe later this year, next year, who knows. But wherever you're watching in the world, folks, do take care. And lovely to see you all. We've got the live chat on tonight, folks. Who's saying there? We've got... Oronox, hello, good evening, love to see you. What have we got? John. John saying, evening Tom, how are you keeping? Yeah, fine John, thank you very much. But I thought I'd put my tuxedo on tonight, something to dress up for, folks. We haven't got a martini. You know, funny enough, I don't drink martini, but my friend Jason does, but completely forgot to ask him for a martini glass. So I've got some rather boring elderflower down there, most on James Bond, but maybe he's gone to a health retreat or something. Anyway, so lots of great music tonight, folks, from the films. We've got a lovely set list. We've had a couple of requests. One or two folks have asked to hear a few things, so we're going to try and build those in as we can. Evening, Katrina, nice to see you. I will speak to you later. One of my students there goes, Clara, classic Clara wedding hire, looking very smart, shaken, not stirred. Well, maybe. There we go. Anyway, folks, as with all our live streams, all the music is provided completely free of charge, as indeed all the stuff on the channel is. But if you are enjoying the music, folks, and would like to support the self-employed musicians who are playing for you this evening, please do visit paypal.me/THmusic if you would like to make a small contribution to the tip jar this evening. Well, folks, we've got, as I've said, some lovely, lovely music tonight, and let's now carry on with a ballad, because a lot of the Bond themes were, of course, ballads, weren't they? They were big songs. So let's just pop this over here. I'm just very, very quickly going to plug my iPad in, because I don't want that to run out of charge, because if it does, I cannot see and read all your lovely comments which are coming through. So this is this was just before he passed away. Actually, this was Louis Armstrong's contribution to the Bond songbook, with "We Have All the Time in the World." Enjoy, everybody. Do keep commenting. Thanks for being with us, and let's enjoy some wonderful music from the James Bond songbook. isn't that a lovely Bond theme? Oh, that's one of my favourites. Really fantastic Bond theme. Recorded by Louis Armstrong, 1969. That was the only film to have George Lazenby in his solo and single role of James Bond before handing over to the next Bond after that, who I've completely forgot who that was. I'm going to go with Roger Moore. Yes, I think it was Roger Moore. Anyway, we've got a few more folks commenting. Folks, who have we got? Cheryl McKenzie, good evening. Hello, Cheryl. Lovely to hear from you. Very, very nice. We did talk on email about organ lessons, so hopefully we'll hear from you back soon. John has put, you only live twice would be nice. I think we've got that somewhere, John. Aurora Ox has said yes. Oh, good, that's good. I hope you hate that. What have we got? Hello, Tom. Oh, Alan Robinson. Hello, Alan. All the very best from Alan in Leeds. Yes, Alan was here last week and the weeks before. Love to see you, Alan. Classic Clara Wedding Hire. That's my family. Very nice. Dad's favourite song. Oh, well, it was his birthday the other day. And it's Father's Day this week as well. Kate Hopkins, Skyfall, please. Oh, I haven't got the music for that, Katrina. Skyfall. I might be able to do, if it's the Adele one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I might be able to do a little bit of that, maybe. We'll see if we can fit it in the time. If not, we'll definitely do that in a future Bond thing. So very, very nice. Well, let's shift around now to the piano, folks. I've just got to move things around a little bit because we've got this this lovely iPad charging. Because without that, I can't, as I say, talk to you. But we're going to do a little bit of piano now. And of course, these evenings we like to play keyboard, we like to play piano. We have got some organ live stream evenings coming up. I'm going to do a theatre organ evening where we'll be playing virtual theatre organ and doing requests, which will be very nice. And I also, pardon just me running in front of the camera, I've got a wonderful James Bond book here, everyone. It's all the Bonds up to when Pierce Brosnan was just finishing off, and loads of stuff in here. Problem is, I've used it so much the pages are starting to fall out, as you can see. The most important one, of course, being the contents, but it's the sign of a good book. And let me just say, folks, obviously we're still here in the UK, we're starting to come a little bit out of our lockdown, but wherever you are in the world, I hope you're keeping well and safe. I'm keeping very busy with all my work and everything else, so I'm trying to multitask here and it isn't going very, very well. Let's try that page. Now, of course, when George Lazenby decided that was enough, does anybody remember what George Lazenby's claim to fame was with the Bond thing? It's well documented that he actually wasn't really an actor. He got the role principally because he looked right, and he was Australian, and his claim to fame was being the Fry's chocolate man walking on the beach, everything else. John Mundongan, great book. Is it still in print, Tom? I honestly don't know, John. You'd have to have a look on the internet, my friend. It probably is. I'll just show you the front cover. It's the James Bond 007 collection. This is a piano vocal chord edition. Lots of pictures on the front. I've had this for a long time. It's published by Warner Brothers and MGM Music. So I imagine there's a version of it probably still in print, but there's a lot of James Bond books out there, John, so I'm sure you'll find one that you'll agree with. But anyway, after George Lazenby finished on Her Majesty's Secret Service, that was a very different Bond film, not just in style but also in looks. The editing on it was done by veteran editor who was the guy who did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So he did that, and he wanted to do the editing and the directing, obviously, on this Bond film. So then after that, we had Roger Moore take up the baton, and Roger Moore, I think, was the longest incumbent in the role. And so we're going to play now one of the Roger Moore themes. This is the McCartney's theme, "Live and Let Die," and of course this was the first time a kind of a rock band had written a Bond theme, and so different things were coming up. So we're on the lovely piano. Just get a level check on the microphone. There we go. Right then, so let's crack on. "Live and Let Die," Paul and Linda McCartney. Very different song, that isn't it, folks? Where that a very quirky bit in the middle, and was that driving bass line that made that song very famous. Well, there we are. What have we got now? This is I think this is probably my favourite Bond theme. I absolutely love this one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the contents page out of the book. That might make my life a lot easier. And this next one, this is a brilliant one. I think this has got a fantastic melody, some great chords, and wonderful recording. And let's enjoy this one now. I think this is the right song. Yes, so this is For Your Eyes Only. piece there. Of course, that another outing for Roger Moore in the role of 007. Well, just looking now, folks, at some of the things. What have we got here? Books from 2001 and still available on Amazon or Music Room. Thank you very much. That's probably Rebecca putting that, my sister. So, John, it's available on Amazon or Music Room if you're in the UK. But Amazon.com or wherever you are. Loads of Bond books, actually, Rebecca says. Cheryl Mackenzie from the movie Live and Let Die. Yeah, that's of course Live and Let Die. And John Van Dongen's put, thanks, Classic Clara. Oh, you guys are ahead of me. Aurora Knox has put, these Bond songs are all wonderful. Well, hopefully the way I'm playing them as well. But yes, indeed, they are absolutely fantastic, folks. PayPal.me/TH Music, folks, if you enjoy the music and like to tip some of us poor struggling musicians. But we're all doing okay. And isn't it wonderful, all this lovely music that we've got to play? Well, back to the keyboard, folks. And we've got another, strangely enough, another couple of Bond songs. So I'm just going to... So I'm doing a lot of moving around tonight, folks. I do apologise. But I've got the iPad, which I thought was healthily charged. Turns out it wasn't. So there we are. So I'm just going to turn the keyboard back. And then I can bring this down here. Whack that there. And then I can sort of see and talk to you all at the same time. Right then. So the next song we're going to do is... going back a little bit now. Sean Connery. From Russia with Love. Now this was one of the following outings of what's his name, Sean Connery, and of course this was the one that followed on from Dr. No, which of course was the first outing that kind of set this whole thing in motion. But from Russia with Love had some very fine filming. It was a very well directed piece. It was very well staged. The fight scenes and everything was very well directed by all corners. This really, I think, for many set the mould of what a Bond film was. I mean, Dr. No is great, but they were sort of finding their feet with this one. Now, of course, from Russia with Love, some trivia about this one. It was written by Lionel Bart. Now, Lionel Bart wrote the music, amongst many things, but his probably greatest claim to fame is Oliver, consider yourself at home, and all that stuff. So that was his thing. And From Russia with Love was sung by Matt Damone, I want to say. Someone remind me who sung it, I can't remember. Anyway, so I thought, well, let's try and do something a little different with it, because it's nice as a kind of a Latin. Now, for those of you who play these songs at home, do try this on a rumba or a begin. It's a great sort of thing for this. But do keep commenting, folks, and do say hello. We've got the live chat running. PayPal.me/TH Music. If you'd like to drop something in the tip jar for the musicians of the evening, please do so. But I thought, well, there's one rhythm that we don't use a lot on our organs and keyboards called bolero. Matt Monroe, that's the guy. Thank you, Rebecca, or Mother. So we're going to try this in a bolero style. Now, bolero is in 3/4. Now, this piece is in 4/4. But if you play 3 and then carry on and do your fourth beat, it will be on the first beat, and so then it will eventually loop back round on itself. So as long as you keep going, it works out all okay. John says, what you need is a remote camera. It will help save time. That is a very lovely idea, John. I have got a remote camera. It is my phone, which does do a wonderful job, but unfortunately at the moment, and I say normally my evenings are a bit more streamlined. It's just the iPad is charging as we speak. But anyway, yes, maybe eventually we will get some. I'm going to be expanding the online presence and stuff and getting multiple cameras going, but that's all coming in the future. Anyway, but let's try this now with bolero as the style. Hey, there we go. So a different take there on Bolero. John's put great song. I'll try that one on my PSR S900. Yes, now John, now the speed there, that was 85. Okay, 85. Tom Koenig from the USA. Hey Tom, how you doing? James Bond was a hero of us 1960s teenage boys. Yes, indeed, it was quite like nothing we had seen before. That's for sure. Well, now let's carry on now to this I think is probably one of the ultimate Bond themes. Shirley Bassey, because with the Bond themes we all get. Of course, you know, they get invited, don't they? And it's always who's going to be the next Bond. Of course, this time it was Billie Eilish and friends who were doing it. So we'll have to wait and to see that with the film. But Shirley Bassey did two Bond themes: Goldfinger and I think it was Thunderballs. Her other one, yes. No, Thunderballs. Tom Jones, isn't it? What was the other one she did? I was looking down the list actually. Definitely. Oh yes, Diamonds Are Forever. That was the other one. Diamonds Are Forever, and this one, Goldfinger, which again had a treatment from a very clever songwriting partnership who always used to pull something very different out of the bag. Which of course is Leslie Bricusse and Anthony Newley, who wrote the lyrics. Newley and Bricusse did lots of famous tunes, Broadway numbers. Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, The Roar, The Grease Paint, Smell of the Crowd. John Barry, the great Bond writer, wrote this one though. Absolutely cracking Bond theme, and has this phenomenal opening with the brass. Just before we start, John's put Diamonds Are Forever. Yes, well done, John. Keith's on. Hello, Keith. Hi, Tom. Great concert. My wife and I are enjoying your playing very much. Cheers, Keith. Keith's another one of my online students. Katrina, who called Kate Hopkins, said earlier, good evening. She's one of my students. John has said, is that the PSR S970? No, this is the 750 I'm playing here, John. The 750. This came from Alan's Music in Great Yarmouth, where of course I work part-time. And lots of fun stuff coming from Alan's with new organs from Ringway. Lots of things going on. So do have a check on the Lowry Ringway YouTube channels if you haven't seen the new Ringway demo. I'm on there playing the organs with Trevor. So anyway, here we go with Goldfinger. lots of very different chords and harmonies going on in there, which is a wonderful Bond thing, really quite something. What have we got next? You Only Live Twice. So we're going to head back to the piano for this one, everybody. And then we've got a few more numbers on piano to finish off with. I did have a couple of Bond theme requests, which we will try and play as we trot along through the evening. I'm not going to do too many requests because we have got quite a big set list. But we did have one or two folks ask earlier in the chat for a piece of music. I'm going to quickly scroll back and see who asked. Oh, You Only Live Twice. John asked for that one. Yes, that's actually next, John. You Only Live Twice. And a sort of an organ chum of mine who lives not far from me in England, Stuart. Good evening, Stuart. I hope you're watching. And he's asked for All Time High. I think he asked for, correct me if I'm wrong, Stuart, from Octopussy. But You Only Live Twice is next, and I've covered up the content sheet, which is we're so organised here, aren't we? This is half the fun. You Only Live Twice. So we're going to spend the next sort of 15-20 minutes, folks, and then we'll finish off with the Bond theme at the end once again. But if you enjoy the music, folks, please do say hello. Do take a look at my website, everybody, tomhorton.co.uk, where you can get CDs of me playing organs and keyboards and stuff. There's 6 great albums on there. And John's put, all this spinning around makes one feel dizzy. Well, yeah. Well, fortunately, John, I've got a rather nice glass of elderflower here, which I'd love to say was a martini, but it isn't. Right, You Only Live Twice. Again, this is John Barry, the great John Barry, with Leslie Brickus writing this one. This is a brilliant Bond thing. Let's put the Yamaha back on for this one. Let's get a little bit more on the juice over here. Right, how does this one go then? Let's have a sight read. Live Twice. That was, of course, set in. That is so pleasing, Tom. Thank you very much, Tom. That, of course, was set in Japan. The famous thing of that film was the gyrocopter, the little yellow gyrocopter that was called Little Nelly. Do you remember the scene where Bond's on the Royal Navy ship? There's always a Royal Navy ship nearby, and Q is flown out there with this thing, and they put this thing together, and she's a little one-seater gyrocopter. Now that was built and flown in the film by a wonderful RAF pilot called Wing Commander Ken Wallace. Now Ken Wallace, I had the great pleasure of meeting him once. It must be 12 years ago. It was a gentleman who was a customer at Allen's, bought organs from the shop, lovely guy, and he also was a D-Day Spitfire pilot, wonderful man. And he asked me would I play for his 90th birthday celebrations, which I said yes, I'd be delighted. So I took the keyboard, we did some background music, and of course it came to the end of the dinner, and the gentleman whose birthday it was, he made a speech and did the thank yous and thanked his lady partner and his family and friends for being with him. And he also said it's a great honour to have, he doesn't come out much in public, my good friend Wing Commander Ken Wallace. And I thought, I know that name. And of course looked him up and realised he was the guy who, of course, flew Little Nelly. And he was crazy, man. He was flying gyrocopters. He's, I think, 90s. I can't. He passed away not many years ago, but. And anyway, his friend had his 100th birthday party. He passed away shortly after that. But I did have the great pleasure of actually saying hello and shaking Wing Commander Ken Wallace's hand, and that would have been enough had he just been a pilot in the war, as he was with his friend. But of course, the fact that he'd taken part in this Bond film was quite something. So there we go. We've also had, as I say, a couple of requests. All-time high. If Wayne's watching. I don't know if Wayne is a good friend of mine, Wayne Burns, manager of the Leyston Film Theatre here in Suffolk. This is a 106-year-old theatre, and I play the pantos there every January. And I know this is one of Wayne's favourite songs. If Wayne's watching, this is for you, my friend, and also for someone else who's asked for it. Who was it? Stuart. Sorry, Stuart. Yes, Stuart asked for this one. Yeah, so All-Time High from Octopussy. Once again, another John Barry number. Lyrics by Tim Rice, who, of course, had some writings with Elton John and Disney. Let's see how this goes. tune from one of the later Bonds. All Time High, that was Octopussy, that was 1983, one of the last Roger Moore outings before Timothy Dalton took over. Now, talking of Timothy Dalton, we of course have got to include one of those. I've got too much of the modern Bonds tonight, folks, so I thought we'd sort of stick to the older repertoire, because some of the more later ones are a little bit difficult to translate to the piano. Quick look on the chat. Well, what have we got? Who said what? Let's scroll down. Oh, quite a few of those. Oh yes, here we go. Kate's put, my SX900 is fabulous. Yes, it is a lovely keyboard, Kate. Loving the music. I will have to take lessons forever to learn all the buttons. There's a lot of buttons. What have we got? John's put, that's so pleasing, Tom, thanks. Oh, and Natsuki's on. Hello, Natsuki. Nice to see you, Tom. Perfectly smooth music from a wonderful score. Ever considered making arrangements for the cinema organ? Well, Natsuki, yes, I have. And I have got a book in the pipeline which involves writing music for the cinema organ. So I'm actually going to be writing new songs. And it's going to be a book called Theatre Organ Originals, okay, so brand new music, but arranged, but yes, there will be some stuff coming. The problem with arranging music is that you have to get the copyright permission from the owner. And it may sound strange, but when you arrange music, you actually don't really get paid very much, because all the money goes to the copyright owners. So unless you're working for a big house, a big publishing house, where you're paid just to arrange things, unfortunately, it's not a very lucrative kind of outing, unfortunately. But writing music is, because of course you own the copyright. So I'm written three. I'm going to do a book called Theatre Organ Originals. The first volume is about half done, and the first volume will contain 5 brand new pieces of music that I've written, but they'll be arranged for 3 manual cinema organs. So I'm looking forward to hopefully completing that later this year. Obviously, the lockdowns caused a few problems, printers and so on. But in the meantime, any of you who are watching and you would like some new music in your collection, do head over to my website, tomhorton.co.uk, and if you want to treat yourself to something, get a pianistic music book. There's 3 pianistic books, pianistic 1, pianistic 2. A lot of the music in there has chord symbols. In fact, all the music has chord symbols, because you can arrange it and play them on the organ, okay, or the keyboard. Really nice. There is a keyboard book coming later this year as well. But one of my favourite Bonds films is Licence to Kill. That was the last Timothy Dalton outing, and Gladys Knight did an absolutely phenomenal number on this one. And this one, I've got a couple of my students learning this, because this is a great one for grade 8 level. One or two of my rock school students are doing this. So let's enjoy, excuse me, a little bit of Licence to Kill. fantastic piece of music. Well, folks, that just about wraps it up. So can I say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to each and every one of you for being so lovely and giving up your evening to spend it with me. I can't thank you enough for your time and your company. It's really been a tremendous pleasure. What have we got? We've got blah blah blah. My wife has just put, my mum is watching. Oh, my mother-in-law is watching. Good evening, Suegra. That is my mother-in-law. Lovely lady called Gia. She lives in Chicago, and we're looking very much to seeing them and the family want to see. My Aunt Debbie is watching. Oh, blimey, Aunt Debbie. Hello, Aunt Debbie. Nice to see you. Greetings from the UK. Classic Clara's put applause. John's put encore. Well, you're very kind, John. Don't applaud, just throw money. No, you're very, very kind. So thanks ever so much for watching, folks. Do check out the website. I have no idea what I'm doing next week. I'm making these up as I go along. But it's good fun. It's good fun. Thank you very much, Kate. I will call you in a few moments to have a chat. But it's good fun, and I hope you're enjoying the music. We're going to have some organ evenings. We're going to do another silent film night. We'll do a virtual theatre organ night. We've got a 60s music night coming up. 1960s, not 1860s. But from my studio here in the UK, studio, yes, live. Thank you ever so much, folks. So do check out the website, send us an email, but thanks ever so much for watching. It's been, my word, look at that, 55 minutes. Incredible how time drifts by when we're all enjoying ourselves and having lots of fun. But for those of you who missed it at the beginning, we are going to finish off once more with the song that we opened with, because it is such a great piece of music. And I just want to, I know a few folks joined during the stream, so we'll just play this one more time to wrap up. Thanks for watching, folks, and to all of you, do take care. John, great work from Romford, Essex. John's in Romford. Oh, that's good news. Yeah, Amazon or Music Room. John for the book. Aurora Ox, thank you, Tom. Thank you very much, Aurora. Lovely to hear from you, and everybody who's saying thank you, Tom, Kate, and everyone, and the rest of the gang. But let's finish off once more with the Bond theme, and I will say good night, everybody.